Alright, well, we're live. You really turn me good. 3, 2, 1. I might just turn this up. 3, 2, 1. How do I start? Welcome. No. Why, hello there, fellow internet stranger who enjoys sport. My name's Noah. Welcome to Behind the Replay. Why we call it that? Well, while you're at your 9 to 5 doing your 9 to 5 things, I am doing my 9 to 5 thing, and that is sport television. I am what we call a EVS operator, which is a thing for doing replays worldwide. I currently do it in Sydney, Australia. Thank you so much for asking about my life story, but that's just some little context into why we call it Behind the Replay. So I'm going to try to give you my best perspectives on sport from things that I can see from the television side that my eyes are trained with. That is what my specialty is. That makes me put food on the table every day. So welcome to Behind the Replay. Today we are talking very excitingly about the Ashes Game 1 in Perth. Wow, what an absolute stunner. Then we're going to talk about rugby and cricket and rugby. What more could you want? What more could you need? Strap on in. Welcome, Behind the Replay. Let's go. The Ashes. Wow. What an absolute stunning game of cricket. That first test was. 4 more to go. You'd have to say the next one at the Gabba, an absolute must-win for England, because they screwed that up, didn't they? They absolutely messed that. They made a right muck of that. Bazball, Travball. That's what I've been hearing. That's what I saw. 123 off 83 is quite remarkable. That it wasn't even just that strike rate. It was the array of shots that that Travis was hitting all over the park. His wagon wheel, which is the graphic of all the different colors and things showing where he hits the ball, it just looked like a grenade going everywhere. It was unbelievable. For him to come out, he started the batting due to Usman Khawaja going off the pitch. He was off for a total of 19 minutes, which means that he had to, if you get over 8 minutes is the rule, then you have to be on the field for the same amount of time, and he was off for 19 minutes. So because it was over 8 minutes, he would have had to been on the field for another 19 minutes, so he had to wait 19 minutes. Anyway, who cares? Because we got Travis Head. The guy is clutch. The guy is starting to become one of those Australian batsmen that we all hate as other cricket fans. But to be honest, this Australian side, and I'm a Kiwi, so the Australian cricket team traditionally has been my greatest hate of everything in my life. But these guys are likable. I like Travis Head. I like all of them pretty much, apart from Steve Smith, but that's just because it's a long time thing. I respect him, but just, yeah, so this was just 123 off 83. They needed 205 to win, and they got there in 28.2 overs. And day 2, it's just remarkable what this guy's doing. He got 137 in the Cricket World Cup final in Ahmedabad. We all remember that. Then they came in when they were 47 for 3. He always kind of saves this team and puts them on their back when they seem to be struggling. World Test Championship, 163 versus India. They came in when it was 76 for 3. So he's got, on the biggest stages of cricket, he's got 3 of the greatest innings pretty much ever. Yeah, the guy is a wizard with the bat when he's in that mood. He walks around the crease very, very strange. They don't know what to do when to bowl to him. Like, what do you bowl? He's hitting Jofra Archer for 6. It's just absolute madness. Marnus with a handy knock as well. Thoroughly enjoyed his battle with Cast, that little back and forth when he was like, yeah, boy. And right after the catch of the year, or I actually wrote out a list of what I thought were the catches of the year. The Mitchell Starc caught and bowled to Crawley, I would have as second best catch. I will put up what I believe is the best catch here, which was India versus West Indies, and it was I can't remember the guy's name. Stand by. It was Sid Harson, and I was watching it live, and it was freaky. So check it out right here. That's what I think is catch of the year. But the caught and bowled, I would have as the second best catch of the year, because that was insane. To be going full stretch like that. He's an athlete and a half. Mitchell Starc, we'll get to him. He was absolutely sick. But what I was trying to get my point to was that Marnus Labuschagne, if you see the replay, is they let it roll and he comes in last minute and is yelling, and you get a little glimpse of him on what he was screaming at Zach Crawley. Which he just is a niggler. He always has been. I feel like the other teams must hate him, but he is kind of funny if you're impartial. 51 off 49. He got those last 10 runs that they needed with a 6 and a 4. Good on him. Good on him for being in form. He had a lot of questions coming into the series. A lot of people have a lot of questions coming into the series, it feels like, because it's so consequential. It was such an insane game of cricket. It was the first test match ever, and this is a stat that I researched for you. It was the first test match ever played in 2 days, and for the batting team in the last innings, so it needs to go 4 innings, so it can't be 3, like you can't win by an innings and runs. It's the first time ever that a test match finished in 2 days, and the team batting last for in the 4th innings needed more than 100 to win. So that just gives you an idea of just the pace that this match was played. So every other 2 days, and the last team batting needed less than 80 runs. Australia needed 206 wins to get there, and they got there in a session. If you don't know what a session is, because we lovers of cricket are very gentlemanly, we break it up to lunch, afternoon tea, and the end of the day's play. Those are the 3 sessions. So yeah, it took 1 session for them to get there. It really reminded me, that first kind of 2 innings reminded me. Well, I mean, I had to remind everyone, right, of Perth last year, where India were bowled out for 150. And then Australia thought they were on top, thought it would be an easy win, but then they got bowled out for 104. That was when Bumrah was going absolutely mental. And then the difference is that Jaiswal came in and batted and got 167 last summer, and England just didn't do that. Let's go through the scorecard for England. It was, you'd have to say, kind of pathetic. Zach Crawley got out to that caught and bowl. We've talked about that. And then Duckett and Pope, 28-33. But these are the big 3 ones. These are the ones I want to talk about. These are the juicy ones here. Root, Brook, Stokes, 8, Duck, 2, respectively. These are the 3 best batsmen you'd have to say coming into the series, or most informed, maybe minus Duckett. But if you can get those guys for 10 runs, and it happened quick. It was Starc and it was Boland, and Boland he bowled much better than he did day one. He had his line way more in tune with what needed to be happening on that pitch. And yeah, just the fact that you can't be losing those guys, and the Harry Brook one, you're chasing something off outside off stump like that for a drive, mate. You can't be doing that. You just can't. These guys need to be getting more than that. The last time England actually were here, the last time England won in Australia, which was 2010. I was like, what was the difference? What made that English side really good? And I've found it. Cook, 235 not out of the Gabba, draw. Then they lost match 2. But then Peterson, 227 in Adelaide, 168 at the MCG by Jonathan Trott, and then Cook, 189 in Sydney. And if you want to win a series, this seems really, really obvious, because the aim of cricket is to get more runs, but someone's got to go out and get a big total, especially in Australia. You need someone getting at least 100 and at least 80, and the high score of this entire test was Harry Brook with 52. That's just not going to cut it. We all know this. It's kind of obvious, but I just wanted to say, the Bazball thing, great. and I've listened to a lot of podcasts and stuff like that from Stuart Broad and from the English side, and they're like, okay, well, the win viz was 75% at one stage. There's a lot of positives to take out of this test. Brothers, you need to be batting for longer than 67 overs. There are so many things that, I mean, it's obvious, right? Well, I don't know if we all watch cricket, but the three people who do watch cricket and who are still listening, the more you bowl, the more you bat, the more tired the bowlers get, right? If you're only going for like a ODI and a T20 combined over 2 days, like, that's not enough. There's 5 days to bowl, and their tactics were just completely wrong. The bowling was absolutely wrong in the second innings, but I also put it down to fatigue, right? Like, these guys went out and put up one of the best bowling performances England have ever put up in Australia the day before, and then all of a sudden, like, because of their horrendous batting, they're right out there again. Like, but it wasn't. It wasn't the way they were. If they were getting out by absolute peaches, Stark bowled absolute peaches. Don't get me wrong. He was the man of the match in this game, and he deserved it. Head was a close second because of that final innings, but Stark was just bowling peaches left, right, and centre. But England, dude, I get the Bazball thing, and I get that's your tactics, but can you give me another 30 overs? Can you give me just some leaves? Like, I mean, you don't have to chase everything outside of stump. I just don't know. England's got a lot of worries, and they had a lot of worries coming into this series. But I listen to these podcasts, and Broad says the positives are Australia didn't play well, right? Because Stark had an absolute he's carried the bowling, to be fair. Mitchell Stark, take a bow, was just one of his best test matches ever. I mean, the first innings, right, he got 7 wickets. That's his best in his test career, in his fabled test career. Unbelievable. And then Scott Boland had a period of like 12 balls that were just absolutely on fire, where he got those 3 wickets in a row. And then he said that Head was the only batsman who could kind of, I didn't really give Marnus his flowers, but Head was the only one who kind of got a hold. That's a bad thing for England. He does realize that, right? Like, the more that Australia is going to be better the next time. Like, you're not going to be getting those dudes as cheaply as you did. You're not going to be getting Smith as cheaply as you did. You're not going to be, like, Khawaja didn't even bat in this. There are so many people who can come up into the, like Kerry, you haven't even seen him really. Like, he got a nice, like, 20 in the first innings or so. But Australia have weapons everywhere, and the fact that they can beat you with 3 people is not a positive for England. That's a negative. That is, England really need to look in the freaking mirror and decide what they're going to do. When Atkinson and Cast was there and they were hitting it, it did feel a little bit weird that, is this going to be the test here? Because they were bowling short. Australia didn't really seem to be working. They kind of got a hold of them, and it was an extra 50 or so runs. But man, the fact that Head just absolutely evaporated whatever lead it was. Yes, I'm a neutral, but I gotta say, seeing any cricketer as despondent as Ben Stokes was on the field, it is kind of funny. It is kind of funny because you got a lot of things to think about, you guys. And as a New Zealand fan, Brendan McCullum against Mitchell Stark might not be the best matchup. 2015 World Cup, first over, charging down the wicket, doing exactly Bazball. How did that go? Not good. Not good at all. Yeah, so, I mean, but there's real stuff on the line here. Like, Stokes, if he wins an Ashes in Australia, that's immortality, man. He drew a Cricket World Cup, and this is probably the last thing he needs on his resume in his storied career. He is one of the great England cricketers of all time. Same with Joe Root, second highest test runner of all time in all nations. And he could cement his all-time status if he comes up clutch and gets 100 in Australia, which he never has. Harry Brook. These are the 3 dudes who got out for 10 runs in total, by the way. Harry Brook, if you do this, if you play how you did in that first innings of looking calm and looking collected and just being able to absorb the pressure like you did, bro, you have an absolute argument to be the best batsman on the planet right now by far and be one of the greats and be mentioned with those, mentioned with the Pontings, the Clarks, the Roots, the Tendulkars, the list goes on, the De Villiers. You have a chance. And they're screwing it up. And I want a competitive series. I don't really want to see England crumble like this. There's a lot of things to think about that I don't really understand the answer. They haven't won at the Gabba since 1986. Drew there in 2010, but that was because of that 235 from Alistair Cook, one of the prettiest innings of all time, by the way. If you're wanting some cricket good watching, 2010, the Gabba, Alistair Cook. It's why I love the game, innings like that. But anyway, we're getting distracted. We're getting off course. They are in trouble. I think they should have won this game. If your win viz is 75%, you're 99 runs for one. Up in the third innings, you need to at least get 200, and the fact that they couldn't do that is pretty pathetic. And this team, it's not like they don't have a track record of just falling asleep. Test 5 against India earlier this year, the exact same thing happened. They just fall off, and man, if they want the Ashes, and they've been talking a lot of smack, there's been a lot of build-up. Stuart Broad, this is the worst Australian team ever. Don't call teams the worst ever. Ask as a New South Wales fan in 2020. It never goes well. It does not go well calling a team, especially an Australian team, bad, because these guys are good. Weatherald, I was impressed with the second innings because obviously when you get absolutely embarrassed like that in the first innings from Archer, it's probably not a good look. But I think he came back. I think he was solid. I think Australia, it's the biggest question going into game 2 is if Uzi's out because of his back injury. Does that mean head opens again? Surely, right? I thought it was quite funny as well in the post-game interview. Steve Smith said that they were thinking about bringing out Nathan Lyon as a starter just for the shits and gigs. But yeah, if Uzi is out, does that mean? I assume that means head would go to the top as the opener, and then Webster would come in. He's a good fieldsman. He would be fine in slips or wherever they want to put him, because that's Uzi is usually first or second slip. I think first slip. Yeah, I'm pretty sure first slip. So, and then they've also got this guy called Pat Cummins. I don't know if you guys have heard of him. He's the Australian captain. He's really, really good at cricket and at bowling. He might be coming in, and like Brendan Doggett did a job, but when you have a player like Pat Cummins, like an all-timer, and it's 12 days now, so there's a lot of rest for these players. The next test is going to be a day-night pink ball test. Mitchell Stark is the GOAT at pink ball tests, and you would it's shocking to even have the audacity to think that Mitchell Stark could get better than what he was, because he was just absolutely outstanding. Hazelwood is to come back at some point into the side as well, to the worst Australian cricket team they've had since 2010. I mean, England, come on. Do it. Make it interesting for us. Don't make it 5-0 and make the Aussies just win it all, because they've won. They've literally everything that the Australian cricket team can win right now. They have, apart from the World Test Championship. Thank you, South Africa. Good on you. And yeah, so that's probably the Ashes chat that we're going to go through, because very exciting, absolutely insane game of cricket. God, I love cricket. I'm really happy it's back. But let's move on to rugby. Let's kind of switcheroo. Let's different ball shape, I suppose. Rugby union specifically. We had the last week of the autumn test series. Let's start with the first game. Wales versus New Zealand, my team, the All Blacks. Yeah, it was. The score of this was 52-26. But it was, I don't know. It was slightly hollow, the feeling of winning. I mean, Wales, we've mentioned a couple of times on this podcast, are really quite terrible at the moment, but they were brave. Good on them. Good on the Welsh. They played really well. I woke up and I've rewatched the first 20 minutes, but I woke up 20 minutes after because I had work doing my replay job that I was doing for the Australia-Ireland game, so I didn't necessarily get to see the first 20 minutes. But when I woke up, the score was, it was 24-14 at halftime. And, we scored 24 points, but why are we letting 14 points into Wales, and for Wales? It was a whole new setup of a system, of a team. Like, people who hadn't really been there were there. Like, Ruben Love got his opportunity. He was pretty good. Scored a really good try. Set up the first one. Dropped some balls. Again with the high ball dropping. The high ball, I think, is going to win the next World Cup for someone. That and scrums, because we're going to get to South Africa's scrums and the yellow card bowl that was that game. But there is some serious lacking of skills, and I really want maybe like a rugby league coach just to come in, because I don't understand the disparity between league players who can catch and union players who can catch. And there is a rule of a shepherding that you're not allowed to do. I do think rules can be not obscured. I do think that there is a way around it. I don't think changing your line, but I think that you could get some people back there to make it a little bit more congested would be kind of good, I think. How you do that, not a rugby coach, I wouldn't know, but I just think maybe try it. Who knows? Because what I do know is that if you're dropping every single ball that is put up, that you know that needs to work on, maybe try something, Scott. Whoa, that was a bit personal. But yeah, anyway. Ooh, just after a whole year of watching it, it just really puts it into perspective, though, right? Like, was this year a failure as an All Blacks team? Like, it's hard to say yes when we have 3 losses and we have like a 74% win rate, right? And we won the biggest game of the year. We can't forget that game at Eden Park and how big of a setup that was, and the record since 1994 we haven't lost, and it was South Africa, our foes, and we hadn't won against them in 4 tries. And we won that. And we won it ugly, but we won it. South Africa did play pretty bad in that game, and we know that because what happened in Wellington the week after? We got doinked, embarrassed. So that was one loss. We ran through Australia. Can you say Australia was that good against us? I don't think they were near their best. We lost to Argentina for the first time. Okay, another record broken. We won against Ireland at Chicago. Soldier Field in Chicago, and we won against Scotland in the last 5 minutes because Damien McKenzie. Okay, great, good. Pretty bad loss to England last week, and then Wales. I would give it a C. Not a C plus, not a C minus, a C. That's what I'd give the All Black season if I had to rate it. Yeah, it's yeah. I mean, and if you wanna, I would be leaning more to C minus. Out of the fact that I don't know how much we improved in terms of future combinations and things. I'm still very confused about what we're doing. A lot of times tactically, but we did put 52 points on Wales. 55 points is the biggest margin we've ever put on them. So, I don't know. There you go. Holly Davidson, the girl referee, was I thought outstanding. I thought was really good. I thought was fair. I thought like that's just rugby. Like whether we like the TMO coming in or not, you can only judge it now. I guess a refereeing performance by that. But yeah, it's kind of a shame when like Tame Plumtree absolutely knocked the crap out of Will Jordan, and the old days it was like what a hit. Now it's just any big contact, you're like, oh, here they go. Boop, boop, boop. TMO time. Yeah, so there were so many no tries. It was like the first half was kind of back and forth. Tamati Williams with an absolutely beastly try there. Loved him ever since he was in Canterbury. I saw him and I was like, who is that absolute mammoth? I would like to see him get more of an opportunity or either get more fit. I don't know what the problem is with him in terms of, I don't know why he's not playing starting, but they seem to enjoy him more kind of coming off the bench, but I thought he had a really good game. And that Sever Reese as well, was good to see him get his opportunity back. He is one of those guys who I think has been a little bit unlucky. He's never really done anything wrong in an All Blacks jersey, Sevu. Apart from, don't do it. Don't do it. But yeah, he hasn't really done anything wrong in terms of on the field. And the step at the end was really good, but Wales were just like the tackle stats in this game was absolutely crazy. They had to make 4 times the amount of tackles. But yeah, it had been 883 days apparently since they had last won at Principality Stadium minus last week. So yeah, like I mean, yeah. I mean, it's Wales, dude. Are we really going to celebrate a game against Wales? I don't even think we should make anything of this game, to be honest. Apart from Damien McKenzie hitting all his conversions, which was great to see. So, yeah, All Blacks overall, go away in the off season. Let's see who kind of comes into Super Rugby next year with an attitude. There are a lot of jerseys up for grabs there. I thought Anton Leonard-Brown was also really good, just quietly. Again, I like Anton Leonard-Brown. Don't know why we just don't play him. Yeah, far out. Okay, let's just do it. Who's my All Blacks backline, no? I don't think Cortez Ratima is an All Black 9. Sorry. Is that offensive to him? I think he's a good player. I haven't seen it yet. I prefer Finlay and obviously Cam Roygaard, right? So that 10. I've been an advocate for Damien McKenzie coming off the bench forever. So yeah, Bowden, that's your jersey. Richie, if you come back and you play a couple of good games in the All Blacks jersey, I'll consider it. 11. I haven't written this down. This is just off the top of my head. 12 and 13. I want to go Tupai and I want to go Fainga'anuku. I would just want that combination until the World Cup. Unless they are terrible. Fainga'anuku, really good player. He has like one shocker a game. And I'm like, bro, come on. Hold the ball. Can you do that for me? 15, Will Jordan, even though I like Will Jordan on the wing, either or. Ruben Love, I mean, if we want to give him some opportunity, but make a freaking decision, man. Let's just, you know what I want for my team? I want also Caleb Clark as, on the wing. Clark and Jordan and Love at fullback. I think that would be my 14-15. Sorry, 11, 14, 15. But can we just make a decision, guys? Can we just have a team that has like some sort of, I don't know, just consistency or just like a couple of positions? It doesn't have to be everyone. Like, you know, you can put some guys in, but can we have the same 10, 11, 12 for a while? Same fullback for a while? Can we just make a decision? There's a World Cup, guys. Like, soon. And I want to win it. Like, because otherwise I'm going to cry. I'm going to be really sad if we don't win it. So, yeah, can we get our shit together, please? I'm starting to panic a bit. I know we're trying some stuff. Congrats to Fabian Holland for getting the World Rugby Breakthrough Player of the Year. There's just so many questions. Like, do you have Scott Barrett? What do we think of Scott Barrett, chat? I mean, All Black, really good All Black. Is he a captain? I don't know. I think Savier's the captain, right? Right, guys? It's lonely here. No one's talking to me. Wallace Satiti, Artie Savier, and Lakai. I think it's better than Karifi. I think those are our 6, 7, 8. Oh, jeez. Yeah, and then I have Tamati Williams, Newell, Taylor, with Taukiaho off the bench. Yeah. And then locks. Yeah, I guess Fabian Holland and I guess... But also I want to see Josh Lord in that jersey more. But then that's kind of going against what I said. Yeah, lots of things to discuss. Rico really didn't impress me again. I think his days are a bit numbered. I think I'm just ranting now. I think I'm going into the ether of All Blacks fandom where I think about my team, and because we're not winning every single game, I get sad. So... let's get even sadder. Ireland versus South Africa. Why I say even sadder, rugby might be dead after this game. I gotta be honest. I just really don't understand what we're doing anymore. I don't understand the calls. I this is my job. When I'm working on international rugby, which I've done a lot this year, my job is to make sure that when the TMO calls for a time code, we're the ones showing all those replays. We're the ones like going, okay, it's at this time code. We're slowing it down at this point of what they want, right? That's like my job. And if I don't know what is going on, then can someone please explain how other fans know? Because this game, there were 7 yellow cards in this game. Ireland got down to 12 men at some point. The Matthew Carley extraordinaire game of his life. Like, put the freaking whistle away, you dog. And then the other thing is, when there's a try, can we just make it a try? Can we just ignore the yellow card unless it's a really bad high shot? If it's a ruck infringement, what happened to advantage? Guys, it's really simple stuff, and it would make rugby so much better for the viewing experience, but we're going back. And League is winning, and I love League as well. Newtown, Jets. But still, man, like, we can't keep doing this to ourselves. It's just not fair. This game should have been a cracker. This is South Africa's first time in 13 years that they've won in Dublin. It was 24-13, by the way, but... what do you make of a game like that? When there's 7 yellow cards, especially the inconsistency. That Feinberg Mngomezulu, it was like in the first 3 minutes, right? Going down the line, and have you seen something more red card straight send off? I thought they were going down to 14 for the 3rd time in 3 weeks, and I thought they should have. No wrap. Straight to the head, shoulder to the head, which is the definition of red, and then they call it a penalty. And so I'm like, okay, this guy, that's the benchmark, right? And then the inconsistency of the calls going on from that, just nuts, just absolutely atrocious. If you're an Irish fan, man, I would be so angry at that, man. I really would. I mean, there were some things that they should have done a little bit better, Ireland, like scrummaging, but also the South African team is just like, oh man, they are really starting to become, if not already, the greatest team of all time. I don't know how you can even go beyond. Like, there was a video the other day that I saw of Rassie giving out, telling the South African changing sheds, who had won World Rugby Player of the Year, and it was Malcolm Marx, and it was just crazy to see that like 3 of them actually had a shot at winning it, and they actually, as a team, didn't know. And so when it was like Malcolm, it was like, oh, what? Like, wow, that, like, I mean, they were obviously happy for their teammate, but like these guys are just, it's just every single scrum in this game that was given was just like, you just knew it was a penalty before they even, I mean, even if they were down a man, but it was just like, that's how dominant they were. They might single-handedly win the World Cup by just scrummaging their way to it. Like, it's nuts. Yeah, it's absolutely nuts. I mean, Ireland were brave because when they were down to 13 or whatever, like the Dan Sheehan try off a lovely pass from Gibson Park again. I thought, oh man, they're still here. They're still kind of in it, and they were still in it. And it would have been really interesting to see. If, you know, the red card, the clear out of the ruck, I understand. Okay, that should have been a yellow upgraded to red. I'm happy with that call. But the other was, like, dude, when the team's down to 13 dudes and they're on their line, of course they're going to infringe. Like, how can you not? You just want them to walk over for a try? It's ridiculous. It really is. I don't know what this... I know what the solution is. Penalty. What happened to a good old penalty? You know? And if it's 5 penalties in a row, sure. But it wasn't. It was just every single time. It's like, yellow. 10 minutes. Gone. 10 minutes as a rugby fan. Like, oh, God. That's a serious disadvantage for Ireland. It's fucking shit. Sorry, my language. But it was... it hurts me when rugby should be good and it's not. Because it was a good game minus all that. Fireberg and Gomazulu might be the next great one, though. Like that, oh my goodness, man. That guy is just the speed, the charisma, I don't even know how you describe his game, just everything about it. It was a bad miss by Gibson Park, that try that he scored, but just fantastic. The guy all year has just been mercurial. There are no adjectives that I even know because I failed English in school that can really describe him, but he's going to be a serious problem for everyone not a Springboks fan going forward. But then Ireland did really well in the second half. There were a couple of times where they were right on their line, and they were defending really good, really nice replays. James Lowe reaction of him going like that was really nice. I'm obsessed with stuff like that. It was really good. And then Prendergast, brother, after Sam got sent off, he had a really big turnover, and it seemed like they were kind of in the game, but then South Africa did what South Africa do, and they just strangled them like a freaking boa constrictor after another 2 yellow cards given out by the referee to make sure that it's even. I see what you're doing there. I see ya. And then... yeah, just grinding out a win. Yet another. South Africa, 1 loss all year? 2 losses all year? I mean, the one in Cape Town to Australia was pretty outstanding rugby from Australia, you'd have to say. I'm trying to remember that game. I mean, there was a period of Australia of 20 minutes of just absolutely probably the most sublime attack of any team this year. And then losing at Eden Park, and then every other game they've dominated. They played pretty bad at Eden Park. Scary stuff. The World Cup, you'd have to say at this point, is theirs to lose. There, I said it. Moving on. Australia-France, the game that I did. 48-33 to France. Absolutely cracking game. It was a really, really good game. The Wallabies got off to a flyer after Matty Fessler's first try. Bell and Tupou, the tight 3, 1, 2, and 3, were incredible in the first 10 minutes. I had a pack cut on all 3 of them. So at this point, what I'm doing is I'm doing highlights for our studio shows. The game comes in with how you see it at home, and I've got a little machine that can cut up little segments of it and put it together, the highlights. I edit it in such a way that it's pretty, so on and so forth. Make sure that it all runs to time, and then I play it out when I need to play it out. So that's what I do, and that's why I was there at 4:30 in the morning, and why I haven't really slept since. The game was 19 all at halftime. So again, like last week, it felt like France were just absolutely on top, and then Australia kind of was still there, and then it was a bit of a bludgeoning in the second half. It was just end-to-end stuff this entire game. The Wallabies lost every single game on their tour, becoming the first Wallaby side in... How many years do you reckon? Oh, I was about to say it, but I don't even want to say it. 67. Don't say it. 67 years to leave Europe without a victory. First time they've lost 10 matches in a year. But they played 15. Usually you only play 13. So... pretty hard to say. Pretty hard to make that high standard that World Rugby demands at the moment when you've been playing that many games, and because they looked fatigued by the end of it. They would be fatigued. It's been a long year because of the Lions series. The thing that I would say about the Wallabies this year, which is quite strange, is they have had the both best wins of the year out of probably any team, minus South Africa at France or earlier in the Six Nations, France versus Ireland, whoever won that game, I can't remember. And then that game against the Lions in game 3, they had, so we know what they can do. And then I guess when Tom Wright does an ACL, your team falls apart. It's a bit, what's going on? Harry Wilson was really quiet for the last couple of tests, but he was absolutely insane all year, I thought. They had some shockers against the All Blacks, but I mean, obviously the All Blacks are a bit of a bogey team for them since 2001, baby. Come at me. They haven't touched the Bledisloe, but I mean, it's going to be interesting to see who comes in at World Rugby. I think Aussie are kind of in that tier below, but them at their best, I wouldn't want to see them. I think there are good things in the future. I think they do have some really good players. Swali has been quiet as well recently. Ikitau has been, I mean, he was good on the weekend, I think, but not, I don't know what his ceiling is as a 12. They lack a bit of depth. I mean, the 10, again, just we talked about it last week. But, yeah, there's a lot of things that the Wallabies, I think, will look at over the off-season. And I think when Les Kiss comes in, they will get better, I hope. Because it's good when the Wallabies are good, I think, for World Rugby. I think it's enjoyable when Australia is good at rugby union. And there are positives from this game. Max Jorgensen with one of the tries of the year was great. Like I said, Tupou was really good, which he's a strange player, eh? His ceiling to floor ratio is just, he can be either the most quiet player on the park or the loudest. And yeah, I do think they have problems with their back three. I mean, with Rideout, obviously, it was going to be interesting to see when Lolosio comes back, if they decide that that's their 10 going forward. But have a rest, Aussie. Have a rest. You guys have deserved it. Thank you for a great Lions series. Thank you for, from a personal standpoint, letting me work on, I think I did 14 of the 15 games this year for the Wallabies. So it's been a long year. And it was been an absolute highlight doing replays for you guys. But you guys will come back and you'll be better. But on the other side, France, Bielle-Biarrey again. Like, I mean, did that yellow card in South Africa lose him World Rugby Player of the Year? I mean, even though they've announced it 1 week early because South Africa have another game next week against Wales. You'd have to say maybe, because that was a pretty bad loss. If he scored the match-winning try in that game, who knows? But the double, both of them, Fuego, especially the one down the left wing. My goodness, that guy's a freak. The chip and chase, the step, the little shimmy was just nuts. 2 try assists as well. Ramos with a try. He was great. He got a player pack. It was really good. So with him losing it, with Bielle-Biarrey losing that game in Paris against South Africa, I mean, he is a problem. He is a star. France are full of stars. Calvin Georg, the debut, makes a break on his first touch, which is really nice to see. He's smiling as he's going through the line with an absolute bullet of a pass out to Bielle-Biarrey. Again, just absolutely fantastic to see France. They play rugby like how the French food is. It's just beautiful. It's just yum. It's just tasty. So good on them. And then the final game, which was last night, England versus Argentina. Really impressive start on this game. It was 27-23. Argentina really had a chance in this game. They, again, big comeback from the Argies, and they were down 17-0 at one point during this game. Fire Oboso, again the winger, another shout out. He's a freak. Was really good. George Ford during this game, again another, like, I don't even know if it's mercurial. It's just a solid 10 shift. It's just game management. There was a drop goal, inside balls. He's really starting to impress me as a player. Ojomo, the number 12, really grabbed his opportunity. Usually he's not in the squad, but he had a try. And that first try came from, again, the kick and chase, which was just 4 dudes steaming through. And that's kind of what you need. You need kick chase. Kick chases win matches these days. And England are the best, or England and South Africa are some of the best at it. But yeah, Ojomo was everywhere. But Argentina, man, They had their chances. If their line out was better, like the last line out of the game, but even before that, they, Carreras hit off the poster. Galeo dropped the ball right over the line in the first half, which could have been a huge moment. They left points out on the park, and there were 4 points in it. So it was really, really tough to not see them capitalize. But also, I mean, the Cowan Dickey no try at halftime. England also left points out on the field. Thanks. So there was a lot in this game that was to be enjoyed. It was a nice match. But at the very end, Argentina, Carreras goes through, and I thought, my God, he's done it again. The magician from Buenos Aires. I don't know if he's from Buenos Aires. That's the only city I really know in Argentina, if I'm being honest. But was just an absolute beast. Love to see him play. Santiago Carreras, as well as his brother, they're both good. Argentina are going to be dangerous at some point. If they are in the World Cup with you in a pool, I'm not overly happy about it. I do think they can pull off one massive upset. I don't think they can win the whole thing, but they are a good side. And Matera as well, when he comes on. I mean, that guy is the best Argentinian player ever for what he's done with the team, you'd have to say. Getting them to the World Cup semi-final in 2015. First win against the All Blacks, a couple of wins against the Springboks, so on and so forth. But Argentina, you'd have to say, was close, not close enough. That puts England with the highest winning percentage, 11 in a row. Only lost their first game against Ireland earlier in the Six Nations. The highest win percentage out of any team in World Rugby this year. I think they are solidly number 2 in the world currently, them or France, but I do think that England are really good. I am really looking forward to the Six Nations coming up. I will be tuning into that. I mean, coming up next, February, March it starts. So, will be good. And, yeah, I think that will be it for rugby, not only for this podcast, but for the entire year, I think. It's been an honour. But now, it's time to talk cricket. So thank you for listening. And if you've been listening since the very start, I think I've been going since round 1 of the rugby championship. So I think I've done a pretty good job at all the rugby. So if you want to know what goes on, give us a little follow. I guess, and listen to the other ones, because I go through all of it, and I'm starting to really enjoy it. So thanks for listening. That's a lot of talking. That's probably my longest one yet. Bang. Noah, good on you, doing stuff. All right. Catch you guys later. See ya.